K9 hero exposes kidnapper, unveils hidden network. It was a gray, windy Friday afternoon at Hollow Bay Elementary. The final bell rang, and kids poured out of classrooms, laughing and running toward their parents. Minivans lined the front sidewalk. Teachers stood outside, calling out names for pickup. Near the school gate, Harper Wren, a quiet second-grade girl with chestnut hair and a bird-shaped backpack, sat on the bench beside the flagpole. She liked to count the crows flying overhead. She always waited alone for her mom, Naomi, who worked as a nurse and was often 5 minutes late. Nearby, Mira Callan stood with Valor, her retired search and rescue dog. Mira used to be a rescue squad leader, but now she worked part-time as a trauma counselor at the school. Valor, a large German shepherd with gray in his muzzle and wise eyes, lay calmly beside her. He came on Fridays to help the kids feel safe. Everyone called him the peace dog. Mira smiled as she watched the children. She sipped warm coffee from a paper cup. But then, something changed. A man in a long gray coat stepped onto the school walkway. He had white hair, glasses, and a soft voice. He looked calm, not rushed like most parents. His eyes locked on Harper. He smiled and waved. "Harper," he said gently. "Sweetheart, come here. It's me, Grandpa." Harper's smile vanished. She didn't move. "It's okay," the man said, taking a step forward. "Your mom had to stay at the hospital. She sent me to pick you up." Harper stood still. Her lips trembled. "You're not my grandpa," she said quietly. The man's smile faltered. "Of course I am, honey. Come look at my ID." But that's when Valor stood up fast. His body tensed. A low growl came from his chest. Mira turned quickly. "Valor?" she whispered. The growl grew louder. Valor never growled, not even when he heard thunder or saw strangers. Mira stepped between the man and Harper. "Sir," Mira said firmly, "I'm going to need you to back away from the child." "I have documents," the man said, reaching into his coat. Valor barked a sharp, echoing sound that made everyone stop. Mira grabbed his leash. "Keep your hands where I can see them," she ordered. The man froze and slowly pulled out a wallet and paper. "I'm Gregory Vance. Look, court documents. I'm her legal guardian." But Harper was crying now. "He doesn't smell like lemon soap," she whispered. "Grandpa always smells like lemon in books. He smells like metal." Mira narrowed her eyes. She noticed the man's briefcase near the bench. Valor was staring straight at it. "May I check your bag?" she asked. The man hesitated. "This is ridiculous." "Consent or a warrant," Mira said. "Choose." He sighed and nodded. Inside the case, Mira found a bottle of pills, a pink glove with the name Maya stitched on it, and a folded zip tie. Everything stopped. Mira looked at Harper. Valor didn't bark again. He didn't need to. The danger was real, and Valor had just saved a little girl's life. After the arrest, Hollow Bay Elementary didn't feel safe anymore. Parents whispered in the pickup line. Teachers locked doors early. Harper Wren stayed home for 2 days. She had trouble sleeping. She didn't want to be alone, not even in the living room. She kept Valor's drawing by her bed, a picture she made of the brave dog in a superhero cape. Naomi, Harper's mom, was scared too. She checked the locks 3 times every night. She didn't like the fact that someone had tried to trick her daughter and almost got away with it. Meanwhile, Mira Callan met with the police and FBI. She told them everything Valor had done. That's when Agent Rhea Salas arrived. She was smart, quiet, and didn't smile much. She carried a laptop everywhere and spoke in short, serious sentences. "This wasn't random," Rhea said. "Gregory Vance has been near 5 schools in the last month, always during dismissal time." Mira sat at the long table, looking at the photos. Vance had used different names in different places, but one thing was the same. He always targeted small schools with no full-time security. "I think there's more than one child," Rhea said. "We may have stopped him this time, but we haven't stopped the whole plan." Mira felt sick. She had worked search and rescue for years. She knew what it meant when predators followed patterns. She also knew she had quit after a mission went wrong, A little girl wasn't found in time. Her name was Anika, and Mira still had nightmares. Now Harper reminded her of that girl, quiet, smart, and too trusting. The next day, Valor was brought to Baystream Elementary, a nearby school. He was supposed to help the kids feel safe, but as they walked the grounds, he stopped by a small bush near the playground. He sniffed. He growled again, low and steady. Mira crouched beside him. She reached into the leaves. There it was, a tiny sock, pink, with unicorns. The tag read, "Property of Maya." Mira's heart dropped. "She's real," she whispered. Rhea ran a check. Maya Sloan, age 7, had gone missing from a nearby town 3 weeks earlier. Her mother thought she had wandered off. No one suspected foul play until now. Then they found the USB. Hidden in Vance's briefcase was a small drive filled with photos of children. They were organized by name, school, and something called compliance rating. Harper was listed as option A, top target. Maya was option B. "They're scoring kids," Rhea said, shocked. "The quiet ones, the lonely ones." Mira looked at Valor. He was lying near her chair, ears perked up. "Valor didn't just save Harper," she said quietly. "He interrupted their system. But that meant someone else was still out there, still watching. And if they didn't move fast, another child could vanish next." Mira tightened Valor's leash. "Let's go," she said. "We're not done yet."
It was late afternoon at Baystream Elementary when Mira Callan got the call. A man was acting strange near the school gate. He had been standing by the fence for over 20 minutes, not picking up any kids. A teacher thought he was just waiting for someone, until she saw him taking pictures with his phone. Mira grabbed her coat and called Agent Rhea Solis. Together, they headed to the school. Valor, Mira's brave German Shepherd, rode in the back seat, alert and quiet. When they arrived, the man was still there, tall, wearing a baseball cap and holding a clipboard. He looked like a delivery worker, but something was off. Valor began growling before the car even stopped. "That's him," Mira said. The man noticed them and suddenly ran. "Go, Valor!" Mira shouted. She let go of the leash and Valor took off like lightning. He chased the man through the alley behind the school, past trash cans and puddles. The man turned a corner and hit a dead end. He stopped and raised his hands. Valor stood in front of him, growling but not biting. By the time Mira and Rhea caught up, the man's cap had fallen off. His name was Colt Yarrow, and he had a long record of small crimes, trespassing, theft, and drug use. Nothing violent. Until now. In his jacket pocket, Mira found something chilling, a small notebook with names, times, and school locations. One name was circled, Maya Sloan, the girl whose sock they had found earlier. Back at the station, Colt refused to talk, until they showed him a picture of Valor. "He wasn't supposed to be there," Colt muttered. "The dog, he messed everything up." "Who gave you this list?" Rhea asked. Colt finally broke. "Gregory Vance. He ran everything. He found the kids online, photos, school info. He had a group, a system. My job was just to watch." Rhea leaned forward. "How many kids?" Colt stared at the floor. "4 taken. 2 failed. Maya was next. Harper was too noisy. You messed up our plan." Mira felt cold all over. These men weren't just random creeps. They were organized and smart. They had folders, maps, and backup plans. Rhea and her team searched Vance's USB again. This time they found hidden folders. Inside were photos and audio files, children laughing, talking, even whispering things like, "He told me not to tell." It was worse than they had thought. Mira looked at Valor. He was calm now, sitting by her side, but his eyes were sharp. "You knew before we did," she whispered. "You always do." That night, Harper drew another picture, this time of Valor standing between 2 schools, a shield around him. "He's still watching," she told her mom. And he was. Even after stopping one man and catching another, Mira and Rhea knew the fight wasn't over. Someone else was still out there, and they were already choosing their next target. 2 days after Colt Yarrow was arrested, Agent Rhea Solis and her team made a scary discovery. A second suitcase was found in a storage unit rented under one of Gregory Vance's fake names. Inside was a burner phone with strange text messages. One of the texts read, "Baystream option 1 confirmed. Low risk, same method. Do not engage Hollow Bay again. Too noisy." Mira Callan read it twice. "They were watching Harper," she whispered. "They backed off because of Valor." The suitcase also had a school bus map, a photo of a red-haired girl with a lunchbox that said "Be kind," and a file labeled Maya, Thursday 3:20 p.m. They had plans for another school, Ria said, and this time they were ready. On Thursday afternoon, Mira and Vala drove to Harbour Light Christian Academy, the school in the photo. It was a quiet place near the ocean, with short fences and no cameras at the back entrance. The skies were grey, and mist rolled in like smoke. Mira didn't wear her police jacket. She wasn't on duty. But Vala knew why they were there. They waited behind a row of parked cars. Dismissal started. Kids ran out to their parents. That's when Vala stood up, his ears turned, his body stiffened. Across the street, near a green dumpster, stood a man in a yellow rain poncho. He wasn't talking on a phone. He wasn't picking anyone up. He was just watching. Vala growled. Mira's heart pounded. "Go," she shouted. The man turned and ran. Vala chased him through the alley. Mira followed. Trash cans fell. Rain splashed. The man slipped and hit a dead end. Vala leapt and pinned him. He didn't bite. He just held tight. When Mira reached them, she found a list in his coat. 3 schools. 3 children. 1 name circled. Back at the station, the man Calvin Royce Miller refused to talk. But Vala's eyes never left him. And eventually, Calvin broke. "He told me it would be clean," Calvin whispered. "No screaming, no mess. Just pick up and leave." He admitted they picked children based on how quiet and trusting they seemed. They called it the trial list. Calvin was supposed to scout and report back to Vance. "They score the kids," he said. "Who's easiest? Who won't fight?" Ria's team found more evidence on the dark web. A website with folders labeled by school and city. Harper's name was in one. So was Maya's. Some kids were already missing. Others were on the list. Mira returned to the Wren house that evening. She gave Harper a medal for valor, his paw print stamped in gold. "He saved more than just you," Mira told her. Harper hugged Vala and smiled for the first time in days. "I knew he could talk," she said, "just not with words." That night, Harper placed a treat by the window. "In case Vala wants to guard me from the moon," she whispered. And in Mira's backyard, under the stars, Vala lay still, his ears listening to a world most people never hear. He was no longer just a retired dog. He was a hero.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Love Tales of Tales, for long, heartwarming pets and animals. Love stories that stay with you long after they end.